everyone, and welcome to this subtraction video where I'll unpick some key strategies used by the children from Key Stage 1 and 2 when they are learning to subtract. So some key terms that the children will be exposed to during Key Stage 1 and 2 include subtract, minus, leave, less, take away, difference, between. So let's have a look at some of the Key Stage 1 strategies for subtraction. So often starting in Key Stage 1, the children will begin using physical objects for subtraction. They'll also explore counting on or backwards using a number line, as well as using tens and ones. So subtraction using physical objects, we'd call those physical objects concrete representations. We've got apples on the left-hand side of the screen, so the calculation that is being discussed is 4 subtract 2. So the children will need to count out 4 objects. They'll then need to count 2 of them and then remove them and then count how many are left. When counting back using a number line, we'll start with the greatest number. Then subtract 16, and there's a jump of 10 because we know that there's 1 10 in 16, and then we do 6 jumps of 1. Then the children will be able to count back those 6, and then they'll know that the answer is 17. And when they count on using a number line, the children will start with the second number in their subtraction calculation. So 33 subtract 16, we can see that they've started with 16 and they're now counting on until they get to 33, and then they'll have to count the jumps. So they know that there's a jump of 10 and then there is a jump of 1s, and there are 7 jumps of 1 each, so we know that the answer is 17. So there's also the visual representation of using 10s and 1s. So the children would either use Dean's equipment, or they'd be able to draw the lines to represent the 10s and then dots on paper or in their book to represent the 1s. So 73 subtract 40, the children would then be able to cross out 4 of the 10s that have been drawn to reveal the answer. So when we consider subtraction in Key Stage 2, we've got the column method with no exchanging and then the column method with exchanging. So let's unpick those. So when we have no exchanging, the children need to align the calculation in columns. So we've got 77 subtract 42. As 77 is the first number in the calculation, we'd put that number on top, and as 42 is the second, we'd put that below. So here, all the children need to do is start in the ones column, or the column furthest to the right. 7 subtract 2 is 5, and 7 subtract 4 is 3. And as there's no exchanging, the children don't need to look to the next columns as they do this. So when subtracting using the column method and having to exchange, the children still need to place the first number in the calculation on top and the second number below. They still need to start in the furthest column to the right. Here in the ones column we have 3 and 8, and as 3 is less than 8 and 8 is greater, the children will need to move to the column to the left and exchange. So here 5 will become 4, and then the 3 becomes 13, and then the children will be able to complete the calculation. 13 subtract 8 is 5, and then they can move across the columns in order to solve. So I hope that this video has been helpful in refreshing your memory on some of the key strategies used by the children throughout their time at school for subtraction.